These are my top tips to smash the GCSE French Listening exam. If you want to get better at GCSE French Listening, you don't need to understand every word. You need to understand what the exam is really testing. And once you know the tricks, it gets so much easier, trust me. So, here are my top tips to help you succeed with real examples you might hear in the exam. Before we start, the biggest tip I could give you is to be aware of the main GCSE themes and topics, so that when listening to an audio, you can place it within a theme. Example, school, holidays, families, free time, technology, or the environment. Top tip number 1, know what listening is really testing. GCSE listening isn't testing whether you understand every single word. It's mainly testing whether you can pick out key information, recognize opinions, tenses, and numbers, understand synonyms, different words with the same meaning. And here's the key. You do not need to understand everything to get full marks. Let me give you an example. The question says, what did the person do last weekend? And the audio says, listen carefully, samedi, j'ai rendu visite à ma grand-mère et j'ai regardé un film. You might not know rendu visite, but if you catch grand-mère, regarder un film, and samedi, that's enough to answer the question. So what did the person do last weekend? We heard visite, grand-mère, samedi, and film. You can make this one out. Number 2, before the audio starts, read smart. You get time before each question, and this is where top students win marks. Don't stare at the paper. Use that time to hunt for clues. So, what do you need to do? Underline keywords in your question. Who, when, where, opinions, and spot the tenses of that question, past, present, future. So, for example, the question is, what is she going to do tomorrow? So, she's going to do, we're using a near future. Look for future clues like je vais plus a verb, or il va, and so on. Look for demain, tomorrow, plus tard, later. Look for these keywords that indicate times. So the audio is, for example, demain, je vais aller au cinéma avec mes amis. Vais is aller. Je vais aller. I'm going to go. So it's a future, near future. So the answer is she's going to the cinema. Another common trick is this one. For example, what did he do? Okay, so we know straight away that it's going to be in the past tense. Okay, the audio is j'ai visité Paris l'année dernière. J'ai visité is a past tense, is a passé composé. I visited. So don't write a future answer by mistake. Learn key timeline vocabulary such as l'année dernière, last year, hier, yesterday, il y a 2 jours, 2 days ago. Or for the future, like I said earlier, demain, tomorrow, samedi prochain, la semaine prochaine, dans 2 jours, etc. Numéro 3, listen for synonyms. So synonyms are not identical words, they will be alike, meaning alike words. This is one of the biggest GCSE traps. The recording will rarely repeat the exact words from the question. Instead, it swaps them for synonyms. So, for example, aimer becomes adorer, apprécier. Difficile, compliqué. Ennuyeux, nul, barbant. Rapide, vite. Cher, coûteux. So, let me give you an example. Why does he like French? But the audio says, j'adore le français parce que c'est utile. You see, there is not the word like, there is the word adore here. So, j'adore is I love, but I like as well. So the reason is because it's useful. So here's another example. So for example, you see the sentence in the text. Yeah, the film was boring. Don't expect to hear the word ennuyeux, for example. The audio might say, le film était nul. Nul is rubbish, but it means boring as well. So yes, it matches the question. but don't expect necessarily the same words that you hear in the audio and that are in the text, okay? Train yourself to match meaning, not words. Numéro 4, this is really important. Be aware of negations. Very, very important. Negatives can totally flip the meaning. And GCSE listening loves doing this. So, for example, the audio has a negation that isn't in the question. The question is negative, but the audio isn't. Negation words to listen for are ne pas, not. Ne jamais, never. Ne plus, that means no longer. Sometimes personne, nobody. But watch out because personne means somebody as well. Ah, rien, nothing. So let me give you an example. If the audio said, je suis fatigué. Well, we know what that means, don't we? I am tired. But the exam might paraphrase that as, je n'ai pas la forme. I am not feeling great. Can you see what happened? Je suis fatigué is an affirmative sentence. Je n'ai pas la forme is a negative sentence. And yet, they mean the same. So, even though the words are different, the meaning is the same. Here's another example. Does she like school? But the audio says, je n'aime pas mon collège, c'est trop stressant. So, the question does not have a negation. Does she like school? The answer does, though. Je n'aime pas mon collège. I do not like my school. It is too stressful. So, the answer is no. She doesn't like it. She finds it stressful. Numéro 5. Listen in chunks, not word by word. If you try to translate every word in real time, trust me, you're going to panic. I would. And once you panic, you miss the next sentence too. So instead of listening like this, what does that word mean? Oh no, I missed it, I'm lost. Listen like this. What's the general message? What's the topic? For example, if the audio says « Dans mon temps libre, je fais du sport, surtout le basket, car c'est amusant et je suis assez sportif. » You don't need every word. You just need the chunks. Temps libre, free time. Je fais du sport. I do sport. Surtout, surtout, especially. Learn little words like that. Car c'est amusant. So the answer might be, he plays basketball in his free time because it's fun. Even if you miss assez sportif, you still get full marks. So the question may be, what does he do in his spare time? Well, you've got the keywords, you can answer this question now. Number 6, numéro 6, use the second listening properly. You usually hear each audio twice, and strong students use them differently. First listening, get the gist. Identify the topic, tense, and opinion. Like I said at the very beginning, very, very important. And then the second listening, confirm your answers and catch details, numbers, reasons, times. Is there any negation, bad words, or whatever? What I mean by bad words, there are any negative words. For example, c'est nul. Bad. Okay. Il est barbant, il est ennuyant, il m'énerve, he is annoying me, and so on. So, for example, how much does the ticket cost? That's the first listening. You might only catch c'est but the second listening, you catch ça coûte 15,50 €, for example. So the answer is 15,50 €. Of course, be familiar with your numbers. All of them. That will help you understand a lot of what's going on in the audio. Another common detail trap are dates. For example, je suis né le 3 mars 2008. I was born the 3rd of March 2008. 2008. Numbers are so easy to mess up. So the second listening, your time is to lock them in. Learn your days. Learn the months and numbers. This will save you stressing out. Trust me. Okay, here's a recap. Before audio, underline keywords, sport tense, predict topics. During the audio, listen to synonyms. Watch out for negatives. And don't panic. Listen in chunks. And in the final listening, confirm what you have already heard. And grab the numbers, the reasons, and those tiny details. Why don't you have a look at my awesome GCSE course that helps you understand all the part of the exams and help you ace it? That's it for me. Au revoir, à bientôt, bisous.